Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Happy New Year, Lisa-san. Happy Chinese New Year. This week, a Chinese New Year.
You know,
you have a special.
You're amazing.
That's
you're
right.
amazing.
This week in history is the beginning of Chinese New Year.
Yes, it is.
February 6th.
Yes.
I mean 8th, not the 6th, the 8th.
And I'm like, yes. Oh, that is really funny.
Also,
oh my gosh, the 8th, really?
Yeah.
February 8th? That's also another very important date to me.
It is,
Yes.
and I know it is.
Okay, let's move on. Okay.
And what a great day today. It is World Radio Day.
I know. And World Radio Day is an observance day held annually on February 13th. And you know what World Radio Day is all about?
I don't.
Celebrating radio.
We celebrate
hello.
every week.
We celebrate every day.
3 times a week.
We celebrate every day.
Well, I'm a guy. I'm happy with 3 times a week.
Okay. Celebrating radio, why we love it, why we need it. I mean, especially today more than ever. And it's a day to remember the unique power of radio, how it touched lives and would bring people together across the world. I mean, it just does.
What a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It brought us together with Mike, our producer.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Michael, for everything that
no,
you do.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you,
make us-
radio.
You make us sound great.
Yes, you do.
I do what I can.
And you know what? You know whose birthday it was yesterday? My favorite president.
Jose.
My favorite president.
Oh, that had to be
Honest Abe.
Obama.
Honest Abe. It was Abraham
I
Lincoln.
don't recall anyone ever calling Obama Honest Abe.
Well, I wasn't saying that it was Obama's birthday. I was saying that it was President Abraham Lincoln's birthday yesterday,
yes.
February 12th.
Happy birthday, Abe.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
he was, you know how he was my favorite president.
That's right. Wasn't he a vampire slayer?
Yeah, you got it. That's the one.
Yeah, I remember seeing a documentary called
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Slayer. Look it up.
Yeah,
It's
no,
true.
it's true. I know it is true. They made a whole series. Yeah. They'll do anything with anything. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday because he was my favorite president.
Yes, happy birthday, Abe.
Okay. So go on.
All right, well,
What you got now?
we have our weekly funny facts about pubic hair, semen, and dating.
Oh.
Right now we're on semen. Or is it pubic hair? I forget.
It doesn't matter. They're both
it's all
funny.
in the same area.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, ha ha ha.
Well,
That was good.
it appears, although I've never looked closely, that pubic hairs are exchanged during sexual activity.
That's if you have any.
That's right. If you and your partner both have pubic hair, chances are you will swap a few strays during the intercourse.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than swapping STDs, I suppose.
I suppose it is.
And did you know that the first major adult magazine to show full-on pubic hair was Playboy in 1971?
You know, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I actually did know that.
Oh, do you have the issue?
Yeah, no, I don't. I was only a few years old, but I mean, yeah, I don't have it. But if you need it, I can get it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll get it.
And, you know, there are a lot of smut magazines that, you know, have still photos
Smut, yeah.
featuring, I think what they call it, disco bush is what they call it.
Disco bush? That's what they're calling it?
Back then, because I think it was big and fluffy. Like, you remember the big hair in the 70s
Oh,
and 80s?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I wish I had it. Now. That's so funny.
And also...
Also what? What else you got?
Did you ever hear of this strange case? It's a 16-month-old Alabama infant with adult pubic hair.
Oh, God. No, I've never heard of that. That's not funny.
No, it's not.
That's
And
not funny.
This was in a 2007 issue of Clinical Pediatrics. And what they did is they detailed a case of a 16-month-old Alabama boy with full pubic hair development and an adult-sized penis.
Is that is there some kind of issue as far as that goes with like hormones or something? Like is he okay?
He's fine. Now, as it turns out, that his father had been prescribed this testosterone gel, which he would smear all over his body before climbing into bed and cuddling with his newborn. And what happened was this.
Oh, my God.
Mhm. The excess testosterone induced a really extremely premature adolescence in that little bitty baby.
So the baby's okay though, right?
Oh yeah, the baby's fine. He just has a very large penis.
For a baby? I mean, that's.
Well, he's
Is it going to stay that way right now, or is it going to go back to normal so he can grow as he grows? I mean, oh boy.
all I can say is he's going to
Be popular
He's
in the
gonna be
ladies.
very popular with the ladies. Yes, he is.
Later on, right now he's a baby. He's not even 2.
Well, and one more interesting fact:
Ay.
Missouri has a pubic hair waxing law for minors.
What is that law?
In Missouri, children under 18 are forbidden from being waxed on or near the genitalia.
Really?
Yep,
Wow. Interesting. So unless you're 18 years old, you can't get a bikini wax.
that's correct.
Huh.
According to this law in Missouri, which is interesting because you can't get a tattoo either. But I know.
Okay, but you can. Wow. I wonder why that is. I wonder what happened. Something must have happened that they did that.
Well, sure, Missouri. It's down south. It's the Bible Belt. They
Okay,
have
well, there's
different ways of looking at things.
Tennessee is like that too, and there's a lot of different places, but nobody else has the law. So
Well, maybe nobody else ever thought of it.
I'm sure they thought of it. It's just amazing. I'm wondering what happened. Actually, I'm going to look into that.
Okay.
I want to
You
just
do that.
know what happened there.
Okay.
I think it's interesting.
Why don't you could take a poll of all the minors and see how many of them wax or shave. Mm-hmm. In fact, we ought to do a poll,
Okay.
waxing versus shaving,
Okay.
or neither, or none of the above.
I will do that. I will start working on that in the next few weeks. We'll have some answers with that.
Terrific.
How's that?
That's great. I'm looking forward to that. And hey, do you guys know any sluts? Mike, how about you, Mike? You know
I
any
do.
sluts?
I do.
I mean, I feel like everyone should at some point. It does,
Yeah. I wish I knew more. Well, we're going to tell you all about why she's a slut a little bit later on in the show.
I know a few.
You do?
I told you before, just now. I answered, I do. You didn't listen to me. You were asking Mike.
Well, you're always talking out of turn. I never. who do we know?
Now, isn't that interesting, Mike? I said, I know. And he's like, who do we know?
I was going to say, he assumes it's both of you now.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, you guys are pretty close, but I wonder, if she has some secrets.
Oh, she has lots of
some
secrets.
hidden
She doesn't
sluts.
tell me anything. The co-host is always the last to know. Always.
This man knows my blood type. Okay? He knows everything there is. So, yeah, when he said, who do we know? He was right. It's somebody we know. We
All
both
right.
know.
Oh, man.
It's not me, right?
No.
Besides, you know that he wasn't asking about male sluts.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I don't care because all males are sluts.
Pretty much.
You know that. But I'm wondering what body types those sluts that
Oh, sweetie pie. A slut comes in every shape, every color, every different texture, everything. It doesn't matter. A body type really can matter, but doesn't. Not when it comes to that.
Well, there was a study done
Yeah?
that reflects how steamy your sex life is,
Okay.
depending on your body type.
I mean, I can certainly understand that. I absolutely could. But at the same time, I also think it's about your mindset.
Of course.
I know. Of course. He says that like, of course.
But you've heard of the book. It's called Face Reading. It's an ancient Chinese art.
Yeah.
In fact, this week is Chinese New Year.
Yes, it
Let's
is.
get that Chinese book on face reading.
Okay.
I actually may have it in my library.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah. Now, personally, I don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
But as a human being, I am totally guilty of doing this every once in a while.
Tell me.
Yeah. Well, okay. For example, I see a tough girl with piercings and a bunch of tattoos. That's my kind of girl. Yeah. My instant thought is kill her in bed. And I do. I don't know. I don't know why. I just do. And
I understand that.
And I have friends who think the same way when they see like the Melissa McCarthy type. It takes all kinds. Those guys are called chubby chasers.
Right.
They like,
A lot.
Yeah, they like a lot of woman there.
A lot.
So. That's
what they like.
So, all this judging and the speculating of others, this study talks about a body type saying there is something about their sex skills. So let's go by science.
Okay.
Biologically speaking, a curvy woman, especially if those curves include big hips, they tend to be really open-minded in bed.
Okay.
It's a study at the University of Leeds has found that women with large hips are more prone to one-night stands and a casual, no-strings-attached hookup, and they're more open to experimenting sexually.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too, and
where's the science in that? Is there? You said scientifically speaking.
right? They at Leeds University.
Okay.
They did a study, and
Right.
however they judged these people.
Okay.
I didn't read the entire study.
No problem.
But just the highlights of it.
All the highlights are all you need.
Highlights, yes, just the highlights.
Okay. So then
Alrighty. So
next,
short women.
Short women.
Yeah, short women. I once had a guy friend of mine tell me that he loves sleeping with short girls because of their compactness.
Oh, okay.
They're tiny, and it. He said that they could do things that taller women couldn't, and it's easier to have sex in more places.
Well, I guess because they're smaller. So you can, they can be propped up or put down or do, all kinds of things.
Right.
You can't help height.
Around a corner,
Yeah.
behind a closet,
Sure.
Just all,
Uh-huh.
Okay. But from a scientific point of view, shorter women have a lower center of gravity, meaning they have like really awesome balance, making tricky positions very simple.
Ah.
Maybe like, on top of the roof of that car or in their Cadillac. Their head doesn't have to pop out through
As
the
long as they're
sunroof.
balanced all the way up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because if they're not, then that would mean they would topple over.
Right, that's
like a
the
weeble.
short, right? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Sure. But then that's no balance.
Right. So conversely, if you're tall, although a study found that both men and women with long legs on the surface are perceived as sexy and healthy, once they get into bed, it's not always fireworks.
Ah. I guess it depends.
That's right. Tall women don't have that opportunity to be tossed around in bed, or, they can't even do like a quickie easily in public places.
I guess it depends on the woman.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
You know, I guess it depends. I mean, a quickie can happen if you have just a couple of minutes, depending on where you are and who you're with.
That's right. And especially if she's taller than the person she's with. Mm-hmm. Now, according to a Nobel Prize winning geneticist, James Watson, he says that women who are chubby are much more appreciative.
Oh, so he says women that are chubby are much more appreciative, and you say the homely ones are the more appreciative ones. So which is it?
Well, okay, the chubby ones are more likely to enjoy sex more than a thin woman.
Well, that I understand because, it's the bone issue. You're hitting their bones.
That's right.
So you can really, if you have a little bit of padding, you can really take a lot.
That's right.
The little skinny ones, you're afraid to break them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. wait. Yeah.
It's not supposed to hurt.
Sure. It's not supposed to hurt your skin, okay? I guess, or your bones.
It's just supposed to hurt good.
Yes. Yeah, but I don't think it would hurt good if you're breaking a bone. Think about it.
You got to be awful rough for that.
Yeah, I imagine.
But
I don't know. I've never been that thin.
Well, this guy, James Watson, he is the guy who discovered the structure of DNA.
Okay.
So he's really a smart guy. And he firmly believes that from a biological standpoint, the more fluff a woman has, the better her personality, which I've always said, and the better she is in bed.
Interesting. Very interesting. Why is that?
Well, because here's where it really comes in.
Okay.
All of that fat boosts endorphins, which increase sexual desire and prowess, making the chubby girls the real killers in bed.
I see. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to take my own little survey on our clients who are chubby. And,
really?
Not from that. Oh, you get your mind out of the gutter. They talk to us. We're going to have to design some questions up just to find out.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Now, here's something that you're probably familiar with, small boobs.
Why am I familiar with? You tell everybody mine hit the table.
I was just messing with you.
Okay. Yeah.
They're sitting on the counter right now.
They are not.
Oh, you just lifted yourself up.
Oh my God, Mike.
I have a table blocking my way, so I don't know.
Okay,
what's going
you know
on
that
over
my
there.
boobs are not sitting on the table. Okay, they're not.
They're sitting on her lap.
Oh my God. Stop it. That's not true. That's not true.
Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter if you got big boobs or small boobs, although society does put an emphasis on the big boobs being all the rage. But
when they're too big, they look like fat, gross fat, and it makes you look frumpy. Don't do it, ladies.
Oh. You don't look frumpy, do you?
Mine are not too big.
Okay.
And no, I am certainly not frumpy. No, hello?
No.
I don't do frump. You know that. That's the last thing I do.
Okay.
Go on.
All right. I was going to say something smart, but...
Were you?
Yeah. But
was it really smart?
No, it wasn't.
Was really stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, then don't say it.
So, yeah, what does Confucius say? Chinese New Year. Confucius say, better to remain silent and thoughtful than to speak.
And know that you are one.
And remove all doubt.
Yeah, remove all doubt. Okay.
All right, getting back to small boobs, something I know nothing about. The reality is, women with small boobs get a lot out of sex and foreplay.
Okay. I can understand that. Why is that, though?
Okay. Because smaller boobs are more sensitive than big boobs.
Right. Less fat. Yeah.
That's right. And the more she is stimulated, the more active she is in bed.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Mm-hmm.
Now, contrary, busty. So you don't have big boobs, but would you consider yourself busty?
I don't think they're big or small. They're average, but okay.
Like, check her boobs out.
Oh my God, stop it.
Call the crew over. Get Chris and the
Stop
crew
it.
over here. We're going to check out her boobs.
We're going to have a boob inspection?
Yes. I got my tape measure right here.
Unbelievable. They're not too big. They're not too small.
We
they're
got
fine.
calipers. We got calipers somewhere.
Oh my God.
I mean, who knows at this radio station? Who knows?
All righty. Seriously speaking, I was only joking.
Uh-huh.
There's a 2013 study that found that women with large breasts are smarter than women who don't have such big boobs. And she's always like
Now, why is that?
bragging about her IQ.
No. Why is it that the bustier the woman, the smarter?
I don't.
Because I know some dumb ones, and I don't get it. I don't know what you're saying. I want to know what they're saying, because I've seen some busty babes that are just blank.
But do they pretend to be?
I know them well. Okay? They're blank.
Okay.
We're talking stump.
Well, last week we talked about the smarter women versus dumber women.
Exactly.
Guys prefer the dumber ones for
Yes,
whatever
we know.
reason.
We talked
Yeah.
about this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, like, according to your study, why would there be, more brains with the bust?
Because they study more. The higher they eat a little more when they're studying, they're munching. So they tend to add more,
Is that what
more
it is?
calories. So they're kind of bigger all over.
I see. Okay. Yeah, definitely not a place you want to be.
Yeah. And, for all you gals out there who are sexually active, bigger boobs are 25% less sensitive than small ones.
Yeah, I can imagine that too.
Yeah. Because of the fact is that,
There's too much fat.
with that, big rack, they have a higher IQ, which does mean that they are smart enough to know how to get exactly what they want out of sex.
Not always smarter. I don't
No?
believe so. Absolutely not. And I don't believe that it's a sex thing either. No, I think it's I understand that this is a study,
Right.
but I just, based on the hundreds of women that I've seen in the past 30-something years doing their nails and their makeup and consulting with them, I think that I could do my own study based on that. And I don't think that the bigger, bustier ones are smarter necessarily. And I don't think that they know more sexually or less sexually or anything like that. I think this is a silly study.
Oh, well, you know what? This is really a true story. One of my clients, and we're in this business, people tell us so much more than we really need to know. Mm-hmm. But, I had a client who I thought was very, very attractive, but, she was a larger girl. And she said that she learned very early that most guys were not attracted to the bigger girl, that they just automatically gravitated toward the thinner one or more of an average shape than the more round ones. And she learned very early that if she perfected her sexual skills, that she attracted much more men and kept them.
Well, when you are sexually active and you feel good about what you're doing and you can make somebody else feel good, you tend to walk taller. That's a confidence thing. So with her, she just must have had confidence. That must be a confidence thing.
Yeah, she was very confident.
It must be
was.
that. No matter what your weight is, it doesn't need to bring you down. You know, I mean, we've had this conversation about myself.
over and
you
over,
know, yeah, about myself. I've always been super confident. So no matter how heavy I've ever been or how thin I've ever gotten, it didn't matter. I always walked with the same swag. I always had my head held high. I always did that. And that's what I always would teach and tell the people that I'm around and that I surround, because that's important. Confidence. It always boils down to confidence, and that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, sexually, if she felt that she needed to do this or that or that or this, you know, the thing is that it's about what feels good. Do what feels right, you know, and when you do that, you're good. You're golden.
You are just so smart. I'm.
Oh yeah, but smart enough because I'm one of those girls that sits there and eats and reads, or, you know, see, that's what the study said.
Well, no. What I've noticed is that you sit, read, and suck on candy canes.
No, I don't suck on candy canes. I had one candy cane during the holidays. You took it out of my mouth and threw it out of the car window, okay? And grabbed my stomach, okay? Because obviously I was gaining weight during the holidays, and you were like, yeah, throw out that candy cane. Mm-hmm.
Oh, who remembers that stuff?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you know, no matter what your body type, your shape, your size, likes or dislikes, you still need to keep the spark alive in your relationship.
Agreed.
Always.
Absolutely.
And virtually every relationship starts out the same way. You can't keep your hands off each other. You get excited at just the thought of them. You just think, and you love all of the same things, and you never have disagreements. That sound like a normal relationship? Does that sound like your relationship?
No.
No, mine either.
You know, it's interesting though. Never having disagreements, that is ridiculous. You're going to have disagreements. Not everything is going to always be on the same page, but it's being able to work through those disagreements. And that's what makes it great. You know, as far as, you know, being touchy-feely, that's really important. No matter how long you're in your relationship, to reach out and touch someone. Isn't there a commercial like that?
Reach out and touch somebody's hand.
Exactly.
Make this world a better place if you can.
And if you want to keep this world a better place, you don't do that again. Okay. But anyway. So
I'll try not to sing because I can't help myself, though. I sing when I'm happy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Keep singing. I like when you're happy. Anyway, touching is very important. And that feeling of, you know, that flirty feeling that you have in the beginning of a relationship, bring it into the end of the relationship.
Yes,
you know, it's
just bring it in.
Yeah, it's that works. It just keeps the fire alive.
That's right. And then suddenly it all changes.
What do you mean? What'd you do?
You no longer want to have sex every day. You want your own space. You realize that everything isn't perfect. Yeah, the honeymoon is over.
But it doesn't have to be.
That's right. That's a way to embrace the new phase of your relationship. But how do you keep the spark alive? You know, are you paying attention?
Yeah, I'm always paying attention to everything you say. My gosh, I stare at you as you utter every word.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, that's very important.
I'm sure.
You know, because maybe, you know, all you need is just a minute to sexually tease your partner and then walk away. You know, keep that attraction high.
Yeah, it's all about keeping it high.
That's right.
So a minute or 2 or 6, it always works.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just because the honeymoon phase is over doesn't mean that your relationship has to be.
Absolutely not.
That's right. It only takes a minute. Oh, no. No, it doesn't.
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what he's doing. He was not supposed to sing again, but he's singing. He must be very happy today.
What did Vladimir once say?
Never a quickie with you, always a longie. But the thing is, I understand it needing to be a long thing, but sometimes you just do honestly only need a minute. And a minute really, I mean, it just refreshes your mindset, because you and I both know, well, we all know here, it's all about the brain.
That's your biggest sex organ.
Exactly. And so,
And my second favorite organ.
the thing, I know you're first, and yours is very big.
Thank you.
Yes. It's his heart.
Brother.
I had to, because I don't want anybody to think anything else. Anyway, as far as your brain is concerned, it only takes a minute for you to have that incredible feeling. If you have an extra minute, spend it with your person of choice. Have that insanity happen. The serotonin goes, and it just starts to uplift. And before you know it, your brain is throbbing. So, and you're getting the tingles, and you're having that moment. And that really adds excitement to your relationship.
Yeah, I'm all tingly right now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Now, we say this all the time.
What?
Put your damn phone down.
I don't even have it in my hand.
Good. Because just a few minutes ago, we're in the middle of a really good discussion. And back me up on this, pal. Her phone goes off in the middle of recording. What is that about?
Sorry. I got nothing.
She's popular. You know? I mean, that's what that's
It
about.
happens.
I got nothing.
Being 100% present when you're spending time with your co-host makes a world of difference.
You know what? You are absolutely right. Being 100% present when you're with anyone is very, very important, because there is nothing worse when you're having a conversation or a moment or any kind of anything, and the person drifts off and isn't paying attention to you.
What?
That makes you feel horrible.
What does?
Exactly. See what I'm talking about? I go through this constantly too, but I know not to feel uncomfortable. I know.
Well, you know I'm only joking.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't help it.
Yeah, he loves to. He loves to do it to me.
I was born a comedian.
He is here to amuse me.
Yes. Like a clown.
Like a clown.
Yes.
Yeah, you are here to amuse me, and you do it well.
Thank you. So, the next time we're together for this show, or anybody listening out there with your significant other, put your phones away and appreciate being in each other's company, like I appreciate Elise as my co-host, and I think she appreciates me as her co-host. And when we give each other 100% attention and direction, our shows are so much more interesting. We learn so much more, and
listen, buddy. Okay. I am always here 100%, 110, 108, 100 and million, 100 and million%.
Wait a minute, what was that word again?
Which one?
The first one.
Buddy?
No.
100.
No.
Listen.
No. It's 100. 100.
Okay. Well, I'm always here. You know that.
Our loyal listeners know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Okay.
You know, the disconnection from the outside world will leave room for a greater connection between the two of you.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Exactly. That's exactly the truth.
Yeah, and I mean, almost a half of our shows somewhere along the line over these last couple of years, we've talked about putting your phone down.
Absolutely.
And, you know, there's a new disease out called...
What is that?
It's called text neck.
Text neck?
Yes. And they're finding, kids 20 years old are losing the curvature in their spine and in their neck.
Oh, my God.
And it's true. And when you're texting, you're leaned over and you're rounding your shoulders because as these devices get smaller and smaller, and
or even bigger, they're still handheld, so
they're
they're
handheld.
still small.
Yep. And people are hunched over, they're texting, and what's happening is the curvature in their neck is rounding out. They're getting a hunchback. Their head is protruding over their shoulders, getting that humpback, rounded shoulders, and that position.
That's crazy.
It's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And remember, you heard it on this show first. Google it, people. It's called text neck. And it's almost like 50 pounds when your head is jutting over your shoulders. It's like putting an extra 50 pounds of strain on your neck, back, and shoulders.
That's unbelievable. That is crazy.
Unbelievable, but true.
I believe you. Hey, I believe everything that you say.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That could get into trouble sometimes.
You should have seen the look he's giving me, too.
And
Do you want me to believe everything you say?
only when I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, but you tell me that you always tell me the truth. So,
I don't.
now you're telling me that you lie?
I can't help myself. What?
Okay.
I'm trying to think of some of the lies I told, but they're so outrageous.
Yeah,
and they're not lies that I'm telling. It's they're jokes. And
They're jokes.
They're outrageous stories.
Oh, okay. So then when I ask you an actual question, though, you're telling me a joke?
Well,
Is that the way we call it now? Or are you actually telling me the truth?
it's oh no, when we're talking, I'm always telling you the truth.
So if I actually ask you a serious question, you're actually telling me the truth?
Of course, it's when I tell you a story. It's made up.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Oh, my.
Do you remember the guy that I was talking about that had the penis reduction? You've heard of breast reductions. A penis reduction is done the same way.
Right.
And there was somebody in the gym that was always like kind of hanging out, listening to what I had to say. So I started talking about one of the guys in the gym who had a penis reduction. And it was very, very interesting because what they did is they laid the penis on the stomach and they sliced it on the bottom down the center and they filleted it, opened it up, almost like a butterfly. And there's, a lot of tissue and fat in the penis. And what they did is they scraped it out. They scraped it out.
This is gross.
So, to make it
You're gross.
thinner.
This hurts.
I don't even understand. Why would
then-
anybody... I don't know.
Why they wouldn't have this?
No, I
surgery?
don't know why you're talking about this. We were talking about the fact that you're a joker and you tell jokes.
I'm telling the story right now.
Yeah, which
Now,
is scary.
please
Now
listen.
that's
Please
that's
listen.
the thing. You told me that your
Once it was
stories are
filleted-
lies.
Once it was filleted, and all of that, it's almost like the tissue inside a penis is like a sponge. And they remove that sponge because that's where the blood flows, and it makes, the penis bigger during an erection. So they remove that tissue, and then they sew it back together, and they remove the excess skin, almost like taking in the waistband from a pair of slacks. And they snip it.
Yeah, penis reduction and taking in the waistband from a pair of slacks. Same thing.
It's a relationship. It's the way that it's done.
Relationship.
That's right.
Well, if you have a penis reduction, you're going to have smaller pounds. So I guess it's the relationship.
It is the relationship. So.
I don't get it. I don't understand where that whole thing came from.
Well, that was a story. It wasn't the truth.
Oh, my.
But you see how serious and outlandish my story was.
Yes.
So, don't call me names anymore. That's it. I'm very sensitive,
I do.
Extremely.
I know.
And, I just feel so abused at this station. It is awful. Like, where's my vodka? I'm starting to drink again.
We kept it safe for you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
We knew this day would come.
Oh my gosh.
You had no faith in me either?
He fell off the wagon.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Getting back to keeping that spark alive in your relationship.
Just tell a few stories.
That's right. Keep the relationship interesting. And no matter how busy your schedules are, no matter what's happening on your Facebook or your Instagram or your radio show, it's important to always make time for date night. It's all too easy to be complacent in a relationship and fall into that routine where you neglect your co-host. I mean, your partner in your relationship.
Exactly.
That's right. I don't like being neglected.
I don't blame you. Neither do I.
I require lots of attention.
I know. I know.
Now, dating should be a part of everyone's relationship, no matter how long you've been together. And you remember, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago about one of our clients. They've been together 50 years. You remember them? And they said the number one thing that they did was to set aside at least one day a week to rediscover the fun of dating, no matter what it is.
I agree with that completely. Yeah. That's a really good thing.
Yeah, they were saying that they tried something new, whether it was a new hobby, whether it was traveling to a new destination, or something that they could look forward to together.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
I saw on the news a few months ago that one couple, and I think they were in their 80s, they wanted to skydive. Now,
right. Oh, right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like a little bit risque like that, like a hot air balloon or something fun like that.
No, thank
you. But I
you.
can't get anybody to go with me.
Yeah.
You know, that's
To
the
go
thing.
up in a balloon?
I tried to get everybody I know to do it. And I really thought, honestly, Mike, I'm telling you this, I really thought my co-host would do this with me.
No
Nope,
way.
will not do it.
Is this skydiving or going in a hot air balloon?
Hot air
Either
balloon.
or.
He
No,
doesn't
thank
do
you.
heights.
I mean, I can understand not doing skydiving, but I'm kind of surprised about the whole hot air balloon that you wouldn't do that.
He won't do it with me.
They're in the news a couple of months ago. You know how the balloon gets the hot air in it?
Yeah, well,
There's a torch
Yeah.
in the basket.
Yep.
And they put the fire on the torch, and the hot air makes the balloon go up.
Yep.
And what happened? There was a misfire in the torch, and the balloon caught on fire. No thanks.
And where are the people?
Heaven, I hope.
Oh, no, they didn't die.
I don't
They
know.
didn't die. They landed. Everything was fine. Stop that.
Okay. Well, I'm not taking the chance.
Okay. My
You know,
gosh.
I
Look at
don't-
him.
What about the Goodyear blimp? Would you go into that?
No. That thing, not the Goodyear blimp, but they're called dirigibles. And right down in Lakewood, they had the most disastrous
Dirigible?
dirigible fire that it was.
Just look at him. I don't know now if it's a story or if it's a joke or what it is.
People, call into us and please explain to Elise what a dirigible is.
No, it's not the dirigible. I just don't know if it really happened or not. I don't know if this happened in Lakewood. I just don't know.
He has such a confidence when he tells
I
his stories that
know.
you
You
can't
just
tell.
don't know.
It's the same tone of voice
I'm
either
gonna
way.
give you.
I know. It's scaring me.
Alrighty, I'm going to give you a hint. Here was the news broadcaster. Oh, the humanity! That's the only.
I get nothing.
You got nothing. Okay. Alrighty. What I want some lucky listener to do is to give us a call at the salon, 609-448-2212. That's 448-2212. And let Elise know what the event
Circumstance,
was
yeah.
and the circumstances of that dirigible in Lakewood, New Jersey. when it exploded, and she will give you $100,000 worth of gift certificates for
Jill
your
Madigan.
entire family and neighborhood.
No, not $100,000.
All right.
Don't put that there because that's going to come from Anthony Vincent Salon. So we don't want to do that.
And she will do your manicures, your pedicures.
I don't do pedicures.
She will massage your aching neck. And all you need to do is let her know what happened.
Yeah, I'm curious about what happened in Lakewood with the dirigible.
Okay. We'll let you know at the end of the show. Now, getting back to our show, do you ever feel like your partner is getting bored with your sex life? Not you personally, but in general. You might want to try something a little bit new. Whether you dress up or you role play into the relationship, or explore other sources of pleasure. It is important to communicate with your partner about what may be exciting for both of you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's key.
Yeah.
And that's again, with anything, that goes right to your brain.
Yes.
So when you communicate, you're lifting everything right then and there.
That's right.
It's the feeling, the intimacy, is there, but and the touchy-feely part, that comes after. But it's the idea of what's going to happen, that comes first, and that goes right to your brain. That's when the serotonin starts to hit.
That's right. And, you don't have to dress up like the French maid or, the virgin in the white dress or a gas station attendant or a mechanic or anything like that. Maybe just talking about crazy sex stuff might be the turn on for, that flame to burn even hotter.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't
Absolutely.
have to do it. You don't have to do it. You just have to say it. And if that's not your style, then bring her flowers once in a while for no reason. Write a little sweet note or a poem and, tuck it away for your partner to find in the car or on the dresser or in the panty drawer. That's, And
I agree.
when they stumble upon that little note, that sweet note that you wrote from your heart, when they least expect it, that'll put a big smile on your partner's face and remind them of just how lucky they are to be in such a loving relationship.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Show your co-host how grateful you are. I mean, your partner, how grateful you are by telling them verbally and expressing what you love about them as frequently as you can. By showing your love and appreciation through words and actions, it will also constantly remind you why you fell in love with them in the first place.
Absolutely.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Who's our sponsor, Liz?
Us.
And when we do, we're going to find out the reason why she's a slut. It's not funny. It's a very sad story.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
And we're back, and we're going to find out some
slutty news.
That's right. We're going to find out the reason that she or he is a slut.
Okay.
But I think most guys are sluts no matter what.
Okay. Well, I want to know what's going on, what this is about.
Alrighty. Well, typically they're be an individual, and she's considered a slut. And
some are.
Yeah.
For, there's but a whole bunch of different reasons why.
Right. And one of the reasons is that she's missing someone or something.
Okay.
And needs to fill that empty space.
Okay, so she fills it with sex.
Well, right. She needs to patch up that wound with your body because she can't do it alone.
Okay, I understand that. And that happens. I mean, I don't find that to be necessarily sad. It happens, though. It's very, very common that a woman or a man would be looking for something. They don't have somebody in their life. And even if they do, they're lonely, and they look outside of themselves instead of inside of themselves.
That's right.
And that's the biggest issue, when you can't ever make yourself shine outside. You always have to go inside to yourself and find what it is that you're missing, find what it is that, you have the issue with, and then go from there and try and fix that.
If you have a bright star inside you, it will shine outside of you.
No matter what.
That's right.
Whenever anybody comes to me and they're feeling badly and they're feeling down, it's funny that you said bright star, because the first thing I say to them, visualize yourself standing on the sun. Visualize the sun going through you. If you're glowing like the sun, there's no way you can possibly be sad.
That's right.
The glow comes out.
It does.
Just glow.
Well, in this particular case, someone took something from her, but
what'd they take?
She doesn't know. She can't figure it out what exactly it is. So she will try anything and she will do anything to see what works. She just needs to feel
loved.
Yeah, and to feel
human touch.
Yes.
Human touch.
Yeah. She's a slut because it's less about the act of sex with you, and it's more about what it does to her ego. That she can control you, and
well, that is true. But you see, once you try to control somebody, that just, showing that kind of control, and doing that, it just shows that you're a very insecure person.
Oh, that's right. And the control is a drug for her ego. Locking eyes across the room. She's a slave for the dented spirit. Men love the thrill of the chase, and she loves knowing that she can have any man she wants if only she's brave enough to ask. She needs to make it their idea. She's in that driving seat saying just the right amount of provocative things. She's mastering making his pupils dilate and his mouth water.
You know what, though? That's for a very, very short period of time.
Of course it is. She's not a bad person.
No.
Nor is she a whore. She's got friends, she's got a job, she's liked, she's respected, and she's popular. She commands attention because she's in so much control. She's so measured, so aware, and full of confidence.
Wow.
And that confidence is knowing she could get a man to do anything, whatever she wants to do. And
very interesting.
Yeah. She's a slut because she needs to feel wanted. She needs to feel desired. That's the key. She needs to remind herself that she is wanted, that there are men out there and they're out there for the taking.
But she's going for the attention from somebody else instead of giving the attention to herself.
That's right. She doesn't want you to love her. She doesn't want you to call, and she doesn't want...
No, because it's on her terms.
That's right. It is on her terms. Yeah.
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I certainly hope she finds what's wrong.
Well...
She has to go within herself, though, to find that.
That's right. she'll have sex with you and you and you and you and you too, Mike.
Thanks for not leaving me out.
One after the other, having her fill, but never being filled for quite long enough.
Wow.
She'll begin to pride herself on not being like other girls. She'll keep you at a distance. She'll ignore you. She can't love herself, so
how can she love you?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. She's a slut because none of you are the answer.
No, she's the answer. She just doesn't know it.
That's right. She knows how to hold your gaze longer than anybody. She can rest her hand on your knee and a little too high to be friendly. And, there'll be a little twinkle in her eye and in her heart the moment you lean in to kiss her. And she'll probably get it on with you. And she'll be hot for you, turned on by you. And from there, you could be anybody or nobody.
Exactly.
She will treat you like trash, and it'll make you want more. I know these types, and I know the guys that just keep. The worse you treat them, the more they come back.
But I know guys like that too.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's awful.
And it's funny. The ones that don't care are the ones that are most attractive.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting?
That's right.
Yeah. Wow.
And she will note your attitude. She'll keep your text explicit and void of any emotion. And that'll be evidence that all men are the same. They're easily led and emotionally stunted. And she won't feel bad about moving on to the next because you didn't mean anything to her anyway.
Wow. Wow. How sad. You're right.
Nobody's saving her from herself. And she doesn't know that she needs to save herself.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you said.
It's all about what's on the inside.
That's right.
Yeah. Poor girl.
Well, you've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com. Click on demand and scroll down directly to us.
And if you have a topic of interest you want us to discuss, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.